Hey guys, this is Rainbow Kid the Kid here. Today we'll be going over the creepypastas. Now, what a creepypasta is a fictional story that has to do with murder or blood, and mostly horrifying creatures that come and try to murder you. So that'll be fun. Let's try to go over them. The first one we have is the most notable one, and who goes over the creepypastas himself, Mr. Creepypasta. Mr. Creepypasta is a YouTube channel and a podcast host for narrating and presenting creepypasta stories, a type of a type of internet horror story, and has a significant following with over 1.7 million subscribers on YouTube. In the mirror spectrum of things, which is the reality of the story, Mr. Creepypasta is not that nice of a guy. He forced Lost Silver to make a choice, which was totally unfair, made Sonic EXP disappear forever, which really pissed off Zalgo, and wants to spread his influence across the vast multiverse. Now, what's interesting is he actually has a character which looks a lot like these characters. Same character, but different forms. Zalgo. Zalgo is a recurring creepypasta character who is alternately interpreted as a deity, an abstract supernatural force, or a secret collective. The concept originated in 2004 on the Something Awful forums, with edits of cartoons depicting characters mutating and bleeding from their eyes while praising Zalgo. This depiction were coupled with a unique form of distorted text that became known as Zalgo text, which you could get the add-on for on Google Docs or Google Slides. I have it, so trust me, it's really good. And mysterious too. Slenderman. Slenderman is a lanky humanoid with no distinguishable facial features who wears a trademark black suit. The character originated in 2009 Something Awful Photoshop competition before later being featured as a main antagonist in the Marble Hornets alternate reality game Slender the 8 Pages and its sequel Slender the Arrival. According to most stories, he targets younger people who supposedly go into his forest looking for him. The legend also caused controversy with the Slender Man stabbing in 2004, which was a different time and a different event that took place. Don't ask how it happened. The character is featured in various films, television series, and video games, and is fondly remembered as one of the most iconic internet urban legends of the 2010s era. Jeff the Killer. Now, I didn't have enough room to put his picture, so I just decided to put his picture in the next slide. Jeff the Killer is a story accompanied by an image of a title character. In the most notable version of the Jeff the Killer story, which originated in 2011, a teenager named Jeffrey Woods is attacked by a group of bullies. The fight ends with Jeff being nearly arrested for assault, which his brother, Lou, takes the blame for. Getting taken away to juvenile hall, this resulted in Jeff becoming depressed and introverted, which is also what Skell is, and fundamental paper education. He's depressed and also introverted. His concerned parents forced him to go to a party, where he gets approached by the same bullies he got in a fight with. While he manages to kill the bullies, oh my god. He is doused with alcohol during the fight and is set on fire, suffering severe burns over most of his body. After being discharged from the hospital and having his bandages removed, Jeff begins to go insane when he sees the burns he suffered. He carves his own face to leave a smile-shaped scar, removing his eyelids, and kills his family. Oh my god. Who would have guessed that? Not me, that's for sure. He becomes a serial killer. He kills by sneaking into the houses at night and whispering, "Go to sleep," to his victims before killing them. The story quickly became one of the most popular creepypastas and would inspire many other stories. Not more popular than Slenderman, but at a point, including Jane the Killer. The character of Jeff was created by DeviantArt. Oh god, DeviantArt. Jeez. User Cesar. The Sendome or whatever. of his earlier work. Sisser began posting about Jeff on Newgrounds in 2008 under the alias Killer Jeff, describing a Bloody Mary-like ritual which supposedly can be performed to summon Jeff, according to the original story. Jeff, then named Jeffrey C. Hodak, accidentally spilled a bucket of acid on his face while trying to clean up his bathtub. Oh, God. I like the original story better. And this is Jeff the Killer. Don't ask why I used the anime portrait of him. Trust me, it looks better as an anime. Smile Dog. Smile JPEG is an image creepypasta that shows a sinister-looking dog with human teeth looking at the camera. The exact origins of Smile JPEG creepypasta is unknown, but is rumored to have been first posted on the X paranormal board on the image board 4chan in 2008. According to the occult-related blog Ether Paranormal, Smile Dog is written as a first-person account of the events that occurred in the narrator's fictional own life. Urban legend, Smile JPEG, and its alleged impact on anyone who came into contact with it are at the heart of the creepypasta. While amateur writers narrator first meet who they call Mary E. in the 2007 are at the heart of the creepypasta. Wait, hold on, I already said that. 2007. She reveals that she has been plagued by this enigmatic image and is the entity attached to it. Since she first saw it on a bulletin board system in 1992, in fact, in addition to experiencing unsettling nightmares and epileptic convulsions, those who view the image are plagued by Smile Dog, an entity that urges them to spread the word, as it is in quotation marks, according to Mary. She was tortured by this creature's demand for 15 years after viewing the image and receiving a floppy disk with an image on it, being told by the entity to spread their imagery. Although it was tempted to hand the CD to the narrator during their interview, she had kept it hidden. She later expressed sorrow though cautioned him against looking into Smile JPEG, because everyone who shares its face is an unending cycle of suffering. Some have even passed away or vanished. While her husband discovers the disc after Mary tragically kills himself, he burns it in effort to eliminate the haunting's origin. The cycle of spreading the image continues months later when the narrator gets an email from someone claiming to have seen the photograph and send it to him. After considering whether to download and view the image, the narrator decides to share the word as the story comes to a close. Now, Smile Dog was first posted on X Paranormal because on the image board 4chan, he was terrifying. This is what he looks like. Kind of looks like Jeff the Killer in a way. This is an alternative picture of him. The Rake. The Rake is a strange humanoid creature described as resembling either a naked man or a large hairless dog whose sightings have been reported on 4 different continents, occasionally being referred to as the Skinwalker, with the earliest known account being a mariner's log in 1691. Sorry, I can't read the names. Named for its massive, incredibly sharp claws, the rake lacerates its victims in their sleep, and in some cases speaks to them in a shrill voice. Though fortunate enough to survive an encounter with the rake, usually end up traumatized by its appearance and behavior. In 2018, a film on the rake was released on Tubi and Amazon Prime. I haven't watched it yet, but I will definitely watch it. The film was poorly received by critics, though. Oh, if it's poorly received, then I definitely will not watch it. Siren Head. Created by Toronto-based horror illustrator Trevor Henderson, in 2018, Siren Head is a tall, thin, and skeletal figure with rotting skin and 2 sirens for a head. The sirens sometimes blare random words in a staticky voice. In other stories, they scream garbled music and radio reports, the sounds of people screaming for help, or emergency alert system broadcasts. Siren Head became popular online in 2020 to Henderson's surprise delight. It was featured in viral YouTube and TikTok videos, as well as numerous indie games with retro aesthetics, leading Henderson to gain many teenage fans. Some YouTubers made a 12-foot model of the monster in one-man developer Modus Interactive created a Siren Head game, which was played by YouTubers Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. Wow, cool. Writers for the PC games and the Daily Dot have compared the creepypasta to Slenderman, the original creepypasta that was more popular than Siren Head. It was the topic of an episode of PBS shows Monstrum and Viz Media. YouTube show video where horror mangaka Junji Ito was shown pictures of internet monsters. He deemed Siren Head the best. And this is Siren Head. Ugh, that's creepy. The Backrooms. Backrooms is a short passage originally posted the 4chan's X board in 2019 as a caption to his photograph of a hallway with yellow carpets and wallpaper. The story purports that no clipping out of reality, one may enter a realm known as the Backrooms. An empty wasteland of corridors and a room with nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow. The endless background noise of fluorescent lights and maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in, as well as malevolent entities that hunt the traveler across the 3 separate areas of the backroom. Level 0 through 2, over time, the backrooms have expanded into a mythos, which online writers adding for information on new levels, entities, items, and phenomena within the backrooms. Location in the original photograph that spawned the backrooms story was unidentified until May 29th, 2024, when a team of Discord users found that the photographs was initially posted in 2003 to a blog documenting the renovation of a Hobby Town franchise in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Backroom images are an example of liminal space. These are the entities of the backrooms. Entity 5, Clumps. Entity 6, Dollars. Entity 10, Skin Stealers. Entity 10, Wrenches. Entity 1, Hounds. Entity 2, Windows. Entity 4, Moths. The Beast of Level 5. And the Beast of Level 5. 5's right there, by the way. Don't know if you noticed that. The Expressionless. The Expressionless is a story that was added to Creepypasta Tumblr in June 2012. The story is set in June 1972, where a woman appeared in Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, wearing only a gown drenched in blood and with a kitten clamped in her jaw. She pulled out the animal, threw it aside, and then collapsed. The doctors decided that sedating her would be the best option, but after attempting to do so, she rose from the bed. The staff's attempts to restrain her did not stop her from brutally massacring and cannibalizing the majority of the present personnel until her sharp teeth. A female doctor who survived the attack nicknamed her the Expressionless, as throughout the entire incident, even during the peak of her furious assault against the staff, the woman's face remained completely absent of expression, as you can see in this photo right here of her. Funland. Funland is a story that was made as a creepypasta by Darren Silvers in 2016. The story is set originally in the late 1990s in Tewksbury, Massachusetts, and is centered around a boy and his friends. Shortly after the park they went to as children closes down, they come back years later to discover an old animatronic dog that was nostalgic to them. In the turns of events, the dog became alive and chases them down out of the park, leading to bad luck for each person who was at the park that day. Oof. I would not be one of those boys at the park. The Interface series. The Interface series is a science fiction horror story that was posted in installments on Reddit, known for its unusual format of being spread across various discussions threads, often considered a form of alternate reality games. The story explores themes of mind control, MK Ultra experiments, and the entities called Flesh Interfaces, written by an anonymous author under the presumed Nine Mother, Nine Horse, Nine Eyes, Nine. Ugh, that's a horrifying name. The Momo Challenge. Momo Challenge or just Momo Challenge, and Momo is an internet urban legend hoax. A creepypasta about a human or humanoid user named Momo, which tells people to harm themselves in a similar vein to the Blue Whale Challenge, and is in a similar vein to the Blue Whale Challenge. The Russian sleep experiment. Ooh, this one's my favorite because it tells of a Soviet agent and scientists experimenting on both political prisoners and prisoners of war during World War II. Oh my god, my uncle was in World War II, in which the prisoners are kept in a sealed off room which was filled with the experimental gas to prevent sleep. This mysterious gas turned the prisoners into violent zombie like monsters. In the end, the commander demands a researcher to enter the room and start killing the prisoners, with one of them uttering, "So nearly free," or just finally put to rest before they die. The SCP Foundation. Now, don't be surprised if the SCP Foundation is a creepypasta, because it is. The SCP Foundation is a fictional organization that captures, contains, and studies supernatural phenomena. The SCP Foundation is a part of a collaborative writing project on the SCP Wiki, which I uploaded a few SCP on that website. If you want to go check them out, you should, because it would be awesome if you do. And leave a like on them. Ted the Caver. Ted the Caver began as an Angel Fire website in early 2001. That was way before when I was born. That documented the adventures of a man and his friends as they explored a local cave. The story is in the format of a series of blog posts. As the explorers move further into the cave, strange hieroglyphs and winds are encountered. In the final blog post, Ted writes that he and his companions will be bringing a gun into the cave after experiencing a series of nightmares and hallucinations. Oh my god. That just freaks me out. The blog has not been updated since the final post. In 2013, an independent film adaptation of the story was released called Living Dark, the story of Ted Caver. But I don't know what the reviews are, but if they're good, I'll check it out. Lost Episode Creepypastas. Now, these creepypastas are from Lost Episodes, from Multimedia, and are very creepy. Candle Cove. Candle Cove is a 2009 story by Chris Darrow, written in the format of an online forum thread in which people reminisce about a half-remembered child's television series from the 1970s, involving a young girl. Series protagonist goes on an adventure with a cast of pirates. Posters share memories of the puppets used in the series and discuss nightmares that they experience after watching certain episodes, such as those involving a villain called the Skin Taker. Oh god, and one that had no dialogue and involved the puppets screaming relentlessly while the protagonist was reduced to hysterical crying. How great! One post then asked their mother about the series. One poster then asks their mother about the series and is told that the mother just used to tune the tune the television to static, which the child would watch for 30 minutes. Oh my god. It's like The Ring all over again. Sci-Fi announced a television drama based on the story in 2015, adapted by Nick Antosca and Max Landis. The story makes up for the first season of Channel Zero, which premiered on October 11th, 2016. Oh dear god, I'm going to go to Channel Zero, definitely. And this is Candle Cove. Basically, creepy, creepy, just creepy. Dead Bart. Dead Bart is a story by writer K.I. Simpson. Get it, Simpson? Because he's a Simpson? Oh my god, that's so fun. The episode of The Simpsons features the eponymous family flying on a trip together when Bart breaks an airplane window, which causes him to get sucked out and fall to his death. After showing a realistic version of Bart's corpse, the Simpsons family is in a state of grief. 1 year later, Homer, Marge, and Lisa have lost enormous amounts of weight, while Maggie and their pets have disappeared. When they try to visit Bart's grave, Springfield is shown to be abandoned. The family arrives at Bart's grave where Bart's body is simply lying there in front of his tombstone. The family briefly cries before Homer cracks an unintelligible joke. And a later update is revealed that Homer is saying, if only we were all that lucky. The episode ends with a zoom out of the cemetery featuring the names of every single Simpsons guest star on the tombstones, with one of them had not died yet, all having the same death date. Oh god. Squidward's suicide. Oh god. We're going into this. Full story is told from a perspective of a person who interned at Nickelodeon Studios in 2005, which the year I was born, as an animation student. The student and some of the other co-workers received a tape to edit titled "Squidward's Suicide" for the series SpongeBob SquarePants. The staff initially assumed that it was just an office prank. In the first-hand account, the video consists of Squidward preparing for a concert. After Squidward finishes playing at the concert, the crowd, including SpongeBob, jeers at Squidward, during which all have red eyes, hyper-realistic eyes. The next part shows Squidward forlornly sitting on a bed, while strange and upsetting noises play and become louder in the background. The scene is spliced with quick flashes of murdered children. Each time the noises get louder when cutting back to Squidward, now bearing the same red hyper-realistic eyes as the audience. Eventually, the camera zooms out to reveal Squidward holding a shotgun. Oh, Jesus! Which he uses to shoot himself after a detached voice commands him to do so. And the video ends, leaving the staff horrified. The circulated imagery of red-eyed Squidward associated with this creepypasta was referred in the series, and an altered version was included in the original uncut airing of the season 12 episode SpongeBob in Random Land. SpongeBob in Random Land. If you haven't seen SpongeBob in Random Land, so there's a scene where they're opening a bunch of doors, and in Random Land, trying to get out of Random Land, but then one door has a picture of Suicide Squidward holding a shotgun. So yeah, it was an uncut airing of season 12, and they didn't want to show it on TV, so they just decided to uncut it. The showrunner and co-executive producer of season 12. The purpose of the reference was to make fun of try-hard, edgy fanfiction, and he has referred to Squidward's suicide as ridiculous fanfiction. He further clarified that it was only intended as a reference, and that the Red Mist Squidward character is far from canon. And this is the character, Suicide Squidward, or Squidward Suicide. SuicideMouse.Avi. SuicideMouse.Avi is a Mickey Mouse urban legend reportedly uploaded to 4chan and later YouTube in 2009, with the video presented as a being forgotten Mickey Mouse footage made by Walt Disney himself during the late 1920s, golden age of American animations. This video uses the rubber hose animation style. The original cartoon uploaded to 4chan was a 3 minute animation loop of Mickey walking down a street with a dull, almost depressed look on his face. Later 9 and a later 9-minute upload included additional footage of the scenery as Mickey's face becoming distorted. With gurgling and screaming sounds, Mickey collapses to the ground apparently dead, and Russian text is displayed which roughly translates to "the sights of hell bringing its viewers back in." The uploader of the longer video claimed that the footage was so disturbing that it resulted in Disney employees committing, oh god, suicide after watching it. The creepypasta was adapted into a movie on June 15th, 2018. Oh my god, I actually saw that movie. By Cristo Lopez. The budget was over $5,000 and it was filmed in the United States. Wow, what a great turnout. Now, I don't know why I didn't add a picture in here. I should have. The Wyoming Incident. The Wyoming Incident is a case of an alleged interruption of transmission of the K2 news in Niobrara County, Wyoming. In the late 1980s, during the interruption, viewers saw disembodied human heads performing multiple poses and emotions. The story goes that those who watched it for a prolonged period of time presented everything from vomiting and headaches to hallucinations. These physical ailments are believed to have been caused by the high-pitched noises that played throughout most of the video. The hacker who allegedly did this were never found. Now, there was a hacker who did this, as shown here. Hackers, or hackers, with an S. They did this on the K2 news of Wyoming so that they would mess around with people and make them think that that it's a joke. Video game creepypastas. Now, video game creepypastas are centered on video games and media such as that. Ben Drowned. Created by internet user Alex Hall, also known online as Usable, Ben Drowned tells the story of a college student only identified as Usable, who buys a used copy of the video game The Legends of Zelda Majora's Mask for an elderly man at the yard sale. Usable finds the cartridge is haunted by a ghost of a boy named Ben, who drowned, as well as an entity that seems to have taken his name, only identified as Ben in capitals, and is an enigmatic force known as the Father. After performing the fourth day glitch, Jocelyn encounters disturbing glitches and ominous messages such as "You shouldn't have done that," and "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" and begins to encounter Ben in the game, who takes the form of an elegy of emptiness. Oh my god, I can't read today. Statue. The story would later spiral into an alternate reality game with the introduction of an in-universe website belonging to the Moon Children. A mysterious cult after an 8-year-long hiatus. The story returned in 2020 once again in the alternate reality game format for its final arc, dubbed Awakening, which featured adjacent politeness about a man calling himself Jadis, recounting his experience during a societal collapse due to a virus known as Heroes. People waking up in mysterious hotels run by a man named Abel and return to the haunted Majora's Mask cartridge. This is it, by the way. He takes the form of Zelda as well, but in a realistic face form. Crow 64. Did I pass one? No. Crow 64. Catastrophe Crow, also known as Crow 64, is a creepypasta revolving around a fictional 3D platform game for the Nintendo 64, developed in Germany that was never released, whose developer Manfred Lorenz supposedly disappeared at sea. The story of the video game was first released when a video produced by YouTube Adam Butcher was released, titled "What Happened to Crow 64." Then there were game theory videos on it, explaining the Crow 64 massacre. Well, not massacre, more like deaths. Let me say that again. Deaths. Herobrine, originally posted by an anonymous user on 4chan, Herobrine is a supernatural being or ghost that haunts single-player worlds of the sandbox video game Minecraft. The character is supposed to look like Steve, one of the default character skins available for new players of Minecraft, except for a pair of glowing white blank eyes. Theories which explain that the Herobrine's supposed origins range from a purported identity as the supposedly deceased brother of Minecraft creator Marcus Persson, or Notch as he is called, to an unlucky miner who haunts living players out of desire for vengeance. Vengeance! Lavender Town Syndrome. This legend purports that shortly after the original Japanese release of the video game Pokemon Red and Green in 1996, there was an increase in the death rate amongst children aged 10 to 15. Oh God, please stop. With the death, oh my God, with the death, please stop. Children who had played the games reportedly screamed in terror at the sight of either of the games inserted into the Game Boy handheld console and exhibited other erratic behavior before committing, suicide. Through methods such as hanging, jumping from heights, and creatively served self-mutilation. Supposedly, the suicides were connected to the eerie background music played in the fictional location of Lavender Town in the games. In the game's canon, Lavender Town is the site of a haunted Pokemon Tower where numerous graves of Pokemon can be found. The legend alleges that children, besides being the primary players of the game, are more susceptible to the effects of Lavender Town music because it supposedly incorporates binaural beats and a high-pitched tone that adults cannot hear. It has been speculated that the legend was inspired by an actual event in Japan in 1997, in which hundreds of television viewers experienced seizures due to a scene with flickering images. An episode of Pokemon anime titled Deno Senshi Porygon. This is the Lavender Town syndrome, by the way. And this is the ghost of Lavender Town. Just to let you know. Nest Godzilla. Nest Godzilla creepypasta is a story written by Daff, who also produced the sprite artwork for the story. It relates to the tale of a character named Zack, who plays an unusual copy of the Nintendo Entertainment System game, Godzilla Monster of Monsters. As Zack progresses through the game, simple glitches begin to turn into entirely new content and new monsters, including members of Toho's monsters that never appeared in the game and monsters from entire entries in Godzilla franchise that were never released after Monster of Monsters. And wholly original creatures unrelated to either of those prior two categories, and eventually a malevolent supernatural being by the name of Red reveals himself as the mystery behind the nature of Red unravels. It is revealed that the demon has closer ties to Zack than he ever could have expected. The story concludes with Zack having defeated Red during the final battle, selling the game on eBay, unable to bring himself to keep or destroy the mysterious cartridge. The story is often praised for its extensive use of custom-made screenshots depicting thousands of sprites created by the story's author, a fan game based on the story as being developed. And this is Red. Sonic.exe. Sonic.exe is a creepypasta initially created by JC the Hyena. Original story follows a teenager named Tom Miller who receives a CD from his friend, Kyle Scott, and not a note telling him to destroy it. Finally, Kyle's warning to be a joke. Kyle's warning to be a joke, Tom decides to play it, finding it to be a haunted version of the 1991 game Sonic the Hedgehog. The haunted version of the game contains disturbing sound effects from other video games, as well as an eldritch entity known as the titular Sonic.exe, or just known as X, who takes the form almost identical to Sonic, with bloodstained blackened sclera and glowing red pupils. In each of the 3 levels, Tom plays as Tails, Knuckles, and Dr. Eggman, only for them to be killed and enslaved by X at the end of the game. After all the characters are killed, a hyper-realistic image of the character appears with the captions, "I am God." Hearing a voice say, "Try to keep this interesting for me," Tom turns around only to see a stuffed Sonic toy crying blood on his bed. His fate unknown, the sequel states that Tom unsuccessfully tried to hang himself to avoid having his soul taken by X, only for him to prevail. The original story was posted for the first time on Creepypasta Wiki on August 2011 and was removed in January 2014 due to complaints of its poor quality when compared to other gaming creepypastas, despite it being somewhat influential. The grounding backlash towards the story led to its author to publish a protracted diatribe about his grievances with the creepypasta Wiki's decision, which only fueled further criticism. In August 2011, a Friday Night Funkin' mod created by Right Burst Ultra released revolving around Sonic.exe and other types of Sonic Hedgehog horror media. This would spark a resurgence in Sonic.exe as a whole, leading to multiple fan-made retakes on the character and story, eventually forming a community base around it. Influential as the creepypasta was, so was the Friday Night Funkin' mod. And this is Sonic.exe. Oh god, it looks creepy. Lost Silver. The earliest known posting of the pasta comes from a 4chan thread submitted on June 6, 2010. The original story of Lost Silver was recorded and narrated by a Pokemon fan who claims he bought a used copy of the game at GameStop for a bargain price. But once he loaded the game onto his Game Boy, he immediately noticed that the saved games left behind by the card's previous owner were highly unusual. Whoever had owned the game simply named their trainer dot 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 had maxed out their Pokedex with all 251 entries, including legendary Pokemon like Celebi and Mew, and had also maxed out their money and levels. But most unsettling was the active party in that the game previous owner had left behind. It contained 5 unknown alien Pokemon with letter-shaped bodies that can spell out messages as a Cyndaquil according to the teller of the tale. The unknown spelled out leave, and Cyndaquil was named Hurry. The narrator talks about finding himself trapped in a silent, still version of Pokemon Gold and Silver's Bellsprout Town, and how he used Flash to illuminate a dark area, only to have the room bathed in a menacing red glow. Other events include the utter death of the Cyndaquil, as opposed to the usual faint. The unknown spelled out a message like dying and no more, and a ghostly battle with the trainer from Pokemon Red Blue, which ends with Celebi as a tormented-looking Pikachu, using Perish Song and Destiny Bond to finish each other off simultaneously. As the story concludes, the trainer named dot 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 becomes a ghost and is trapped forever as among several Pokemon graves. Moral, if you could call it that, spells out that despite his enormous success as a Pokemon trainer in life, death still comes first. Dot 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 in the end, same as it comes for all of us, worse, seemingly. Dot 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 seemingly died nameless, alone and forgotten. And this is Lost Silver, aka dot dot dot. Because Lost Silver was eventually named. Now I'm not going over these slides, because I'm not done with it. Like I said, Metroid characters are a lot. There are a lot of Metroid characters, and I have to list them all down in the slide and put them all in the slides. So we'll be going over another slide later. No, actually, tomorrow in tomorrow's video. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below for more videos like this. and I will see you later. Peace.